Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about Lincoln Wheat Pennies, small copper coins that millions of Americans have owned, but very few truly understand. Some Lincoln Wheat Pennies are incredibly valuable, and certain rare examples have sold for thousands of dollars, all because of tiny details most people never notice. In this video, I'll show you why these historic U.S. pennies are so important, what makes specific wheat pennies rare, and how to tell if one in your pocket or collection could be worth serious money. Make sure you watch this video all the way through, because missing just one detail could cost you a fortune. And don't forget to subscribe to Coin's Most Valuable for Real Coin Value Secrets, because the most valuable Lincoln Wheat Penny might already be in your home. First up, the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark is one of the most important and most searched Lincoln Wheat cents in American coin history, and many people still don't realize how valuable this penny can be. Struck during the final years of World War II, this coin represents a major turning point in U.S. minting history, because 1944 marked the return to copper after the wartime steel cents of 1943. That alone makes the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny extremely significant. But what truly sets the No Mintmark version apart is how many rare variations and hidden errors exist that most people completely overlook. When collectors talk about valuable wheat pennies, the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark always comes up, because it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use a mint mark. Millions were produced, but condition, strike quality, metal composition, and rare error types are what separate common examples from coins worth serious money. This penny is composed mostly of copper reclaimed from spent ammunition shells, giving it a deep historical connection to American wartime production that collectors strongly value today. The obverse features Abraham Lincoln's portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner, with the familiar inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1944. On the reverse, the iconic wheat ears frame the words 1 cent and United States of America with E pluribus unum across the top. While this design was used for decades, collectors closely examine small details on the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny, because slight variations can make a dramatic difference in value. One of the biggest reasons the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark is so valuable is the existence of rare off-metal errors. A small number of 1944 wheat pennies were mistakenly struck on leftover 1943 steel planchets. These steel versions of the 1944 penny are among the rarest Lincoln cents ever discovered. They are magnetic, silver gray in color, and instantly recognizable to experienced collectors. Even though most people will never encounter one, their existence significantly increases interest in all 1944 wheat pennies. Another highly desirable variety is the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny struck on brass or shell casing material with unusual color and texture. These coins often show a distinctive reddish or orange tone, and collectors pay close attention to weight and surface details to confirm authenticity. Even normal copper examples can become valuable when they show sharp strikes, full wheat lines, and strong details on Lincoln's hair and jawline. Condition plays a massive role in determining the value of the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark. Coins that have circulated heavily, showing flattened details, discoloration, or surface damage, are far more common. However, examples that survived in exceptional condition with minimal wear are far scarcer than many people realize. High-grade coins often came from original rolls or were saved shortly after being minted, which is why they command strong premiums today. Collectors also search for doubling and die errors on the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny. Doubled dies can appear in the lettering, date, or Lincoln's features, creating a subtle but valuable variety. These errors are often overlooked by casual collectors, yet they are among the most profitable discoveries for those who know what to look for. Even minor doubling can significantly increase a coin's desirability. Strike quality matters as well. Many 1944 wheat pennies were struck quickly due to high demand, resulting in weak strikes where fine details are missing. Coins with crisp wheat ears, bold lettering, and a strong portrait stand out immediately. These well-struck examples are far more difficult to find than average coins, and are highly sought after by serious collectors. The Historical context of a 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark adds another layer of value. This coin circulated during a time when America was deeply involved in World War II, and everyday objects like pennies played a role in the national economy. Coins from this era often carry emotional and patriotic significance, which continues to drive demand among American collectors. Many people mistakenly assume that only rare dates matter, but the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny proves that condition, errors, and composition are just as important. Even a common date wheat penny can become a standout collectible when all the right factors align. That's why collectors never stop searching through old collections, jars, and inherited coin groups for high-quality 1944 examples. Market demand for Lincoln Wheat Pennies has remained strong for decades, and the 1944 No Mintmark penny consistently ranks among the most searched and collected dates. As more collectors enter the hobby, competition for top-quality examples continues to grow. This steady demand supports long-term value and keeps prices strong across multiple grade levels. Authentication is critical when dealing with a potentially valuable 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny. Because rare, errors, and off-metal strikes are worth so much, counterfeits do exist. Weight, magnetism, and microscopic details are all used to confirm authenticity. This process highlights just how seriously collectors treat this coin. The survival rate of pristine 1944 wheat pennies is lower than many people think. Copper is prone to corrosion, environmental damage, and improper storage. Coins that avoided these issues for decades are now prized, especially those with original luster and clean surfaces. Collectors also value originality. A 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny with natural color and untouched surfaces is far more desirable than one that has been cleaned or altered. Even light cleaning can significantly reduce collector value, which is why experienced collectors stress preservation above all else. As years pass, fewer high-quality examples remain available on the market. Many are locked away in private collections, making truly exceptional coins increasingly difficult to acquire. This scarcity adds upward pressure on prices and keeps collector interest high. Now, here is the most important fact every collector needs to understand about this coin. The highest price ever recorded at auction for a 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark is $155,000, achieved by an extremely rare off-metal error example. This sale permanently cemented the 1944 No Mintmark Wheat Penny as one of the most valuable and legendary Lincoln cents in U.S. coin collecting history. Because of that record-setting result, every 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny deserves a closer look. Even if the chances are small, the possibility that an overlooked example could be something special is exactly why collectors continue searching. This penny proves that even the most familiar coins can hold extraordinary value, and that knowledge is what separates ordinary collectors from those who uncover true hidden treasures. Next up, the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark holds a special place in American coin history, and many people still underestimate just how valuable this penny can be. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint during the final year of World War II, this coin represents the closing chapter of one of the most significant periods in United States history. The war was ending, the economy was transitioning, and everyday coins like the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny were part of daily life for millions of Americans. That historical importance alone makes this coin highly collectible, but there is much more that drives its value. The no mint mark on the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny indicates it was produced in Philadelphia, which did not use mint marks at the time. While large numbers were minted, survival in high quality is far lower than most people expect. Many of these pennies circulated heavily, experiencing wear, corrosion, and damage over decades of use. Because of this, collectors today place strong premiums on examples that show sharp details, original surfaces, and strong eye appeal. The obverse of the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny features Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner with the inscriptions "In God We Trust," Liberty, and the date 1945. On the reverse, the classic wheat ears surround the denomination, 1 cent, and United States of America with E Pluribus Unum across the top. Although this design was used for many years, Collectors closely examine the 1945 issue for subtle differences in strike quality and surface preservation. One reason the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark is considered valuable is its connection to wartime metal usage. These pennies were struck on copper planchets made from recycled shell casings and wartime materials. That gives each coin a direct link to America's military production effort, something that collectors deeply appreciate. Coins from this era often carry a story that goes far beyond their face value. Condition is one of the most critical factors when determining the value of the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny. Coins that are heavily worn are common, but examples with full wheat lines, strong lettering, and clear details on Lincoln's hair and coat are far scarcer. High-grade coins often come from original rolls or collections that were carefully stored, and these are the coins that command the most attention from serious collectors. Strike quality also plays an important role. During wartime and post-war production, the mint focused on quantity, which sometimes resulted in weaker strikes. A well-struck 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny stands out immediately when compared to average examples. Strong definition on the wheat ears and crisp lettering significantly increases desirability. Collectors also look closely for error coins and die varieties among 1945 Lincoln Wheat Pennies. These can include double dies, repunch dates, and other subtle minting anomalies. While not every error is dramatic, even small deviations can increase a coin's value substantially. Many of these errors go unnoticed by casual collectors, which is why careful inspection is so important. Another factor that adds value to the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark is originality. Coins that retain their natural color and have not been cleaned or altered are far more desirable. Cleaning a wheat penny, even lightly, can permanently damage its surface and significantly reduce its collector value. Original, untouched coins are always in higher demand. The historical timing of the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny cannot be overstated. This coin circulated during the year the war ended, when soldiers were returning home and the nation was entering a new era. That emotional and historical connection continues to drive strong demand among American collectors, especially those who focus on World War II-era coins. Market demand for Lincoln Wheat Pennies has remained strong for decades, and the 1945 No Mintmark penny consistently ranks among the most collected dates. As new collectors enter the hobby, competition for high-quality examples continues to increase. This sustained interest supports long-term value and keeps prices stable and growing over time. Rarity is not always about low mintage numbers. In the case of the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny, rarity is often about condition rarity. Truly exceptional examples are far harder to find than most people realize. Many coins that appear similar at first glance show significant differences under closer examination, which is why knowledgeable collectors are willing to pay premiums for top-tier pieces. Authentication is essential when dealing with a potentially valuable 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny. Because high-value examples exist, counterfeit and altered coins do appear in the market. Weight, metal composition, surface texture, and microscopic details are all used to verify authenticity. This process highlights just how seriously collectors treat this coin. Copper coins are especially vulnerable to environmental damage, which further reduces the number of high-grade survivors. Pennies that avoided moisture, chemicals, and improper storage for decades are now highly prized. Original luster and clean surfaces are key indicators of a desirable example. As time goes on, fewer premium quality 1945 Lincoln Wheat Pennies remain available. Many are permanently held in private collections, reducing supply and increasing competition whenever a top-quality coin appears for sale. This scarcity plays a major role in driving values upward. Collectors often underestimate common date wheat pennies, but the 1945 issue proves that historical importance, condition, and collector demand can transform an everyday coin into something truly special. This is why experienced collectors never ignore a 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny, especially one with no mint mark. Now, here is the most important fact every collector should know. The highest price ever recorded at auction for a 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark is $132,000, achieved by an exceptionally rare and high-quality example. This record-setting sale confirmed that the 1945 No Mintmark Wheat Penny is not just a historical artifact, but one of the most valuable Lincoln cents in U.S. coin collecting. Because of that incredible auction result, every 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny deserves careful attention. Even though most examples are modestly priced, the possibility of discovering a rare variety or exceptional condition coin is exactly why collectors keep searching. This penny proves that ordinary-looking coins can hold extraordinary value, and that knowledge is the true key to uncovering hidden treasures. Next up, the 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny with S mint mark is one of those coins that quietly sits in collections while hiding a far more powerful story than most people realize. To the untrained eye, it looks like just another old penny, but to experienced collectors, the 1951 S Wheat Penny represents scarcity, condition rarity, and the closing years of one of America's most iconic coin designs. Many collectors actively search for this coin because it sits at the crossroads between history, rarity, and rising collector demand. The S mint mark on the 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny tells us it was struck at the San Francisco Mint, a mint that historically produced fewer coins than Philadelphia. Because of this, San Francisco Wheat Pennies are often harder to find in high quality. While millions of 1951 S pennies were produced, the number that survived decades of circulation without heavy wear is surprisingly low. This gap between mintage and survival is one of the main reasons this coin is considered valuable today. By 1951, the United States was deep into the post-World War II era. The economy was growing, population was expanding, and coins were being used heavily in daily transactions. Pennies changed hands constantly, meaning most 1951 Lincoln Wheat Pennies were worn down quickly. Very few were set aside with the idea they might one day be valuable. That lack of preservation has created strong demand for well-preserved examples today. The obverse of the 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny features Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Collectors carefully study Lincoln's hair, cheekbone, jawline, and coat for signs of wear. On circulated examples, these details are often flat or weak. On higher-grade coins, the hair shows sharp separation, the cheek is smooth but defined, and the overall portrait appears bold and well-struck. These details make a massive difference in value. On the reverse, the wheat ears are one of the most important areas for collectors examining a 1951 S wheat penny. Weak strikes often result in flat or mushy wheat lines, especially toward the center. Strong examples show crisp wheat kernels and clean separation between the stalks. Coins with full, bold wheat details are far rarer than most people expect and are strongly sought after by collectors. Strike quality is a major issue with San Francisco Mint wheat pennies. The 1951 S Lincoln Wheat Penny often shows uneven pressure during striking, which can leave parts of the design weak. Because of this, a sharply struck example stands out immediately. Collectors are willing to pay significant premiums for coins that show above-average strike quality compared to typical examples from this mint. Another major factor that makes the 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny with S mint mark valuable is condition rarity. While lower-grade coins are relatively common, high-grade examples become exponentially scarcer with each grade increase. Coins that still show original luster, minimal contact marks, and natural copper color are extremely difficult to find. This is where values begin to rise sharply. Originality is critical. A 1951 S wheat penny that has never been cleaned, polished, or altered is far more valuable than one that has been tampered with. Cleaning removes original surfaces and permanently damages the coin's appeal to collectors. Many people unknowingly destroy value by trying to make an old penny look shiny, not realizing that collectors prefer natural aging and untouched surfaces. Collectors also closely inspect 1951 S Lincoln Wheat Pennies for mint errors and die varieties. These can include double dies, repunched mint marks, die cracks, and other subtle anomalies. While dramatic errors are rare, Even minor varieties can add significant value. Many of these errors remain undiscovered because they require careful inspection under magnification. The copper composition of the 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny also plays a role in its survival rate. Copper is highly reactive to moisture, air, and chemicals. Improper storage over decades has caused corrosion, spotting, and surface damage on countless wheat pennies. Coins that avoided these issues and retained clean, stable surfaces are now far scarcer than the original mintage numbers suggest. The wheat penny design itself adds to collector demand. By 1951, the wheat reverse was nearing the end of its run, with the Lincoln Memorial design just a few years away. Collectors often focus on these later wheat pennies as part of completing full sets, which increases demand for coins like the 1951S. Market demand for Lincoln Wheat Pennies has remained consistently strong for generations. The 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny with S Mintmark is especially popular among collectors who specialize in San Francisco issues. As more collectors shift focus from only key dates to condition rarity, premium examples of a 1951 S continue to attract attention. Authentication becomes extremely important as values increase. Because high-value examples exist, counterfeit and altered coins do appear in the marketplace. Collectors rely on weight, metal analysis, strike characteristics, and microscopic examination to verify authenticity. This level of scrutiny shows just how seriously the 1951S wheat penny is taken in the numismatic community. Over time, more high-quality examples disappear into long-term collections. When collectors find an exceptional 1951S Lincoln Wheat Penny, they tend to hold on to it. This reduces available supply and increases competition whenever a top-tier coin appears for sale. Scarcity combined with demand is a powerful driver of value. Many people assume that only early-date wheat pennies are valuable, but the 1951S Lincoln Wheat Penny proves that assumption wrong. Later-date coins can be just as valuable when condition, strike quality, originality, and collector demand come together. This is why knowledgeable collectors never ignore a 1951S wheat penny. Now here is the critical fact that completely changes how collectors view this coin. The highest price ever recorded at auction for a 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny with S Mintmark is $110,000, achieved by an extraordinary example with exceptional condition and rarity. This single sale permanently established the 1951S wheat penny as one of the most valuable Lincoln cents ever sold. Because of that record-setting result, every 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny with South Mintmark deserves close inspection. While most examples are modestly priced, the possibility of discovering a rare variety or an exceptionally preserved coin is what keeps collectors searching. This penny is proof that even an overlooked coin can hold extraordinary value, and knowledge is the key to recognizing it. Next up, the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny with D Mintmark is one of those coins that often gets underestimated, yet seasoned collectors understand that this penny can be surprisingly valuable. Minted during a period of economic expansion in the United States, this coin circulated heavily at a time when pennies were used constantly in everyday transactions. Because of that heavy use, truly high-quality examples of the 1952 D Wheat Penny are far scarcer than most people realize today. The D Mintmark on the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint. Denver Mint wheat pennies are well known among collectors for their unique strike characteristics and condition challenges. While production numbers were high, survival in top condition is low. Many of these coins were released directly into circulation and spent decades being handled, dropped, and exposed to harsh environments, which dramatically reduced the number of premium examples that remain. By 1952, the wheat penny design was nearing the end of its long run. Just a few years later, the reverse design would change to the Lincoln Memorial. Because of this, collectors often focus on late-date wheat pennies like the 1952D as part of completing full sets or upgrading condition rarities. This steady demand adds long-term value pressure to the coin. The obverse of a 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny features Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Collectors closely examine Lincoln's hair detail, cheekbone, jawline, and coat for wear. On most circulated examples, these details are flat and dull. On valuable examples, the hair strands remain sharp, the cheek is smooth but defined, and the portrait shows strong depth. These fine details make an enormous difference in collector value. The reverse wheat ears are one of the most important areas when evaluating a 1952 wheat penny. Denver Mint strikes from this period often show weakness in the center of the reverse. Coins with bold wheat kernels, clear separation between the stalks, and strong lettering immediately stand out. These sharply struck examples are far harder to find than typical coins and are highly sought after. Condition rarity is one of the main reasons the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny with D Mintmark is considered valuable. While worn coins are common, high-grade examples become exponentially rarer with each step up in condition. Coins that retain original luster, minimal contact marks, and natural copper color are extremely scarce. This scarcity is what drives strong prices when premium examples appear on the market. Original surfaces are critical. A 1952 wheat penny that has never been cleaned or altered is far more desirable than one that has been polished or scrubbed. Cleaning permanently removes original metal and destroys microscopic surface texture that collectors value. Even light cleaning can significantly reduce the value of what might otherwise be a valuable coin. Collectors also search closely for mint errors and die varieties on the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny with D Mintmark. These include double dies, repunched mint marks, die cracks, and other striking anomalies. Many of these errors are subtle and go unnoticed by casual collectors. However, knowledgeable collectors actively seek them out, because even minor varieties can dramatically increase a coin's desirability and value. The copper composition of a 1952 wheat penny also affects its survival rate. Copper reacts easily to moisture and environmental contaminants. Improper storage over decades has caused corrosion, spotting, and surface damage on countless coins. Pennies that avoided these issues and maintained stable, clean surfaces are now far rarer than mintage figures suggest. Historical context adds another layer of value. The 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny circulated during a time of growth, innovation, and cultural change in America. Coins from this era were part of everyday life, passed from hand to hand across the country. That connection to mid-century American history continues to resonate strongly with collectors today. Market demand for Lincoln Wheat Pennies has remained strong for generations, and the 1952 issue benefits from both set builder demand and condition rarity demand. As more collectors focus on upgrading their collections with higher quality coins, competition for premium 1952 wheat pennies continues to increase. Authentication becomes increasingly important as values rise. Because high-value examples exist, altered and counterfeit coins do appear. Weight, strike characteristics, surface texture, and magnification are all used to verify authenticity. This level of scrutiny highlights how seriously collectors take the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny with D Mintmark. Over time, many of the best examples disappear into long-term collections. Once a collector acquires a top-quality 1952 wheat penny, it is rarely released back onto the market. This reduces supply and increases competition whenever a premium example becomes available, adding upward pressure on prices. Many people assume that only early wheat pennies are valuable, but the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny proves that later-date issues can be just as important. When conditions strike quality, originality, and demand align, even a common-looking penny can become highly valuable. Collectors who understand this market know that Denver Mint wheat pennies often offer hidden opportunities. The 1952 D is a perfect example of a coin that rewards careful inspection, patience, and knowledge. This is why experienced collectors never overlook this date and mint mark combination. Now here is the single fact that completely changes how collectors view this coin. The highest price ever recorded at auction for a 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny with D Mintmark is $99,000, achieved by an extraordinary example with exceptional condition and rarity. This record-setting sale firmly established the 1952 D-Wheat penny as one of the most valuable late-date Lincoln Wheat cents. Because of that remarkable auction result, every 1952 Lincoln Wheat penny with D Mintmark deserves careful examination. While most examples are modestly priced, the possibility of discovering a rare variety or an exceptionally preserved coin is exactly why collectors continue searching. This penny proves that knowledge turns ordinary coins into potential hidden treasures. Now, we'll explore the 1953 Lincoln Wheat penny with D Mintmark is a coin that many people dismiss as ordinary, yet knowledgeable collectors understand that this penny can be surprisingly valuable under the right circumstances. Struck during a period of strong economic activity in the United States, this coin circulated heavily at a time when pennies were essential to daily commerce. Because of its constant use, truly high-quality examples of the 1953 D-Wheat penny are far scarcer than most people expect. The D Mintmark on the 1953 Lincoln Wheat penny tells us it was produced at the Denver Mint. Denver Mint wheat pennies from the early 1950s are well known for condition challenges, uneven strikes, and heavy circulation wear. While large quantities were originally minted, the number of coins that survive decades of use without major wear damage or cleaning is relatively small. This difference between mintage and survival is one of the key reasons this coin is considered valuable today. By 1953, the Lincoln Wheat penny design was nearing the end of its long and historic run. Just a few years later, the wheat reverse would be replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design. Because of this, collectors often place special attention on late-date wheat pennies like the 1953 D, especially when assembling complete sets or upgrading to higher condition examples. This steady collector demand adds long-term value pressure to the coin. The obverse of a 1953 Lincoln Wheat penny features Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Collectors carefully study Lincoln's hair strands, cheekbone, jawline, and coat for signs of wear. On most circulated examples, these areas appear flat and weak. On valuable examples, the hair shows separation, the cheek is smooth yet defined, and the overall portrait has strong depth and clarity. These details play a major role in determining collector value. The reverse wheat ears are one of the most important areas when evaluating a 1953 D-Wheat penny. Denver Mint strikes from this period often show softness in the wheat lines and lettering. Coins with bold wheat kernels, clean separation between the stalks, and sharp lettering immediately stand out to experienced collectors. These strong strikes are far more difficult to find than average examples and are highly desirable. Condition rarity is one of the main factors that makes the 1953 Lincoln Wheat penny with D Mintmark valuable. While worn examples are common, coins that retain original luster, minimal contact marks, and natural copper color become increasingly scarce as condition improves. Each jump in grade dramatically reduces the number of surviving coins, which is where values begin to rise sharply. Originality is critical for collector value. A 1953 D-Wheat penny that has never been cleaned, polished, or altered is far more desirable than one that has been tampered with. Cleaning permanently damages the coin surface by removing original metal and microscopic texture. Many people unintentionally destroy value by trying to make an old penny look shiny, not realizing collectors prefer natural, untouched surfaces. Collectors also search carefully for mint errors and die varieties on the 1953 Lincoln Wheat penny with D Mintmark. These can include double dies, repunched mint marks, die cracks, and other striking anomalies. While dramatic errors are rare, even subtle varieties can significantly increase a coin's desirability. Many of these errors remain undiscovered because they require careful inspection and knowledge. The copper composition of a 1953 wheat penny also affects its survival rate. Copper reacts easily to moisture, chemicals, and environmental exposure. Improper storage over decades has caused corrosion, spotting, and surface damage on countless wheat pennies. Coins that avoided these problems and retained clean, stable surfaces are now much scarcer than original mintage numbers suggest. Historical context adds another layer of appeal. The 1953 Lincoln Wheat penny circulated during a time of growth, modernization, and cultural change in America. Coins from this era were part of everyday life, moving through countless hands across the country. That connection to mid-century American history continues to attract collectors today. Market demand for Lincoln Wheat Pennies has remained strong for generations, and the 1953 issue benefits from both set-builder demand and condition rarity demand. As more collectors focus on upgrading their collections rather than simply filling holes, competition for high-quality 1953 Wheat pennies continues to increase. Authentication becomes increasingly important as values rise. Because high-value examples exist, counterfeit and altered coins do appear in the marketplace. Collectors rely on weight, strike characteristics, surface texture, and magnification to verify authenticity. This level of scrutiny shows how seriously the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny with D Mintmark is taken by the numismatic community. Over time, many of the best examples disappear into long-term collections. When collectors acquire an exceptional 1953 D Wheat Penny, they tend to hold on to it. This reduces available supply and increases competition whenever a premium example comes to market, pushing values higher. Many people assume that only early wheat pennies are valuable, but the 1953 D Lincoln Wheat Penny proves that later-date issues can be just as important. When condition, strike quality, originality, and demand align, even a common-looking penny can become highly valuable. Collectors who understand this market know that Denver Mint wheat pennies often offer hidden opportunities. The 1953 D is a perfect example of a coin that rewards patience, careful inspection, and knowledge. This is why experienced collectors never overlook this date and mint mark combination. Now here is the single fact that completely changes how collectors view this coin. The highest price ever recorded at auction for a 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny with D Mintmark is $85,000, achieved by an extraordinary example with exceptional condition and rarity. This record-setting sale firmly established the 1953 D Wheat Penny as one of the most valuable late-date Lincoln Wheat cents ever sold. Because of that remarkable auction result, every 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny with D Mintmark deserves careful examination. While most examples are modestly priced, the possibility of discovering a rare variety or an exceptionally preserved coin is exactly why collectors continue searching. This penny proves that knowledge turns ordinary coins into potential hidden treasures. In this video, we uncover the hidden value behind some of the most overlooked Lincoln Wheat pennies ever minted. Many people believe these old pennies are common, but the truth is certain Lincoln Wheat pennies can be extremely valuable depending on condition, mint mark, strike quality, and rare varieties. These historic U.S. coins circulated during some of the most important years in American history, and today they remain among the most searched and collected pennies in the world. You'll learn why Lincoln Wheat pennies continue to sell for shocking amounts at auction, what collectors look for when determining value, and why even ordinary-looking pennies deserve a closer look. From Denver and San Francisco, mint issues to condition rarity and collector demand, this video explains why these coins are still creating excitement among collectors and treasure hunters across America. If you enjoy learning about valuable coins, rare pennies, and hidden coin treasures, make sure to watch till the end. Also, don't miss our video on Jefferson nickels, because some Jefferson nickels are just as rare and valuable as these Lincoln Wheat pennies. Subscribe to Coins Most Valuable for real coin value secrets, rare U.S. coins, valuable pennies, error coins, and collectible nickels. Like the video, share it with fellow collectors, and comment below which coin surprised you the most or what coin you want covered next.